Hey y'all, what's up? I am tired. I'm gonna keep it honest with y'all. I ain't really pay attention to the episodes tonight. It was a lot going on. Um, I was in and out, to be honest. My son was outside with the neighbors and their kids. They were all outside till like 9:30. In North Carolina, the past 3 days it's been in the 70s, so people are showing their tail. Okay, it always happens when it's a little warm. He just now leaving. You hear that? Just now pulling off with the motorcycle. They've been here since about 6:30. It's 10:56. So, and normally I'm done with this by now, but of course I answer the phone. My sister calls me. Today was a pretty, I would say, compared to last year, this year, from when I saw it and paid attention to, was not as good of a show, Smackdown. But also last year, like Jay and Sammy were a part of the show. I think the changing factors has something to do with it. I also think the stuff that's going on with WWE and the news regulation and with Vince and then the stuff with the, Netflix and then all that other stuff is plays an effect to everything, and then The Rock becoming on the board of TKO, which I think is awesome. I think it's awesome that your father helped train the Alpha and Sika and stuff like that to get him in there. The family has carried a legacy. The dad has carried a legacy. He would have been Hulk Hogan based on the show The Rock, because I watched that when it came on. He would have been the Hulk Hogan had he wouldn't have double booked overseas and with WWE. But the fact that he became the first black tag team champion with Tony Atlas, and now your son is on the board, and then his granddaughter, which is fourth generation, is the general manager of NXT. I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome that Netflix is acquiring, had a deal with WWE next year. That's because I have Netflix. I have not gotten, I don't have cable because I have all these streaming apps, HBO, Hulu, all of that. And I don't want to spend $40 for one channel. Like, I'm not spending $40 a month for Spectrum or Sling to watch only USA. Like, I love WWE, but I'm not like that committed. That's stupid. Like, I can watch everything else I want to watch on the streaming apps I want to watch. You know what I'm saying? My only thing is they said start in 2025 that Netflix is going to be, I think, the main place to go to for WWE stuff outside of the United States. So that means, so does that mean the rights for Peacock for the stuff outside of the United States is gone? Do they already have rights to, does Peacock already have rights to stuff that's outside of the U.S.? And does that mean just U.S. viewers? Or does that mean events outside of the U.S.? Like, if they have Crown Jewel again next year in Saudi, we have to watch it on Netflix, or can we watch it on Peacock? Also, shows like Love and Wrestling with Beyonce and Montez, which I'm excited, super excited about. I've been waiting for it forever. I finished Total Divas last year, but will it be on Peacock too after Hulu, or is it strictly Hulu? Because what I learned about Hulu, and that's one of the reasons why I haven't watched it in the past 2 months. I canceled it like these past 2 months. A lot of the stuff that's on Max or on Peacock, they put on Hulu. I'm like, I'm not about to pay for another streaming thing, and I can watch it on these two that I watch more of. Anyway, to me, it's probably gonna be a short video. The show was good, but it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't lackluster. It was lackluster to me, to be honest. outside of a couple things. And I'm saying that not because it's because it's leading up to PLE. PLEs, we know the week of is supposed to be exciting. It's supposed to have us on the edge of our seat or have us like, oh, I can't wait for tomorrow. I did not get that. Like, if Bobby and the Street Profits aren't fighting the what do they call it? The Archers of Pain with Karrion Cross tomorrow, there's no point. I want y'all gonna leave that for Smackdown situation. There's no point in that. But I love that encounter. Okay. For that, it was Randy and them talking. They had a Latino Grammy nominated star. LJ. So that started, and then Santos versus Carlito situation started. LWR versus Legado de Fantasma. And I was like, now they might spin this match 4 or 5 different ways, how many other times they wrestled on TV. But I tweeted that this needs to be the last match that they wrestle together. They don't wrestle, I think, at, where did they wrestle at? Was it Survivor Series? I don't know. They wrestled there. Either before, and then I think before or after he got injured. I think this is the 3rd time, like, dead it. Like, outside of Angels of Pain and stuff, know what they do, and then Cruz del Toro coming out flying on stage. Only element of surprise was Electrica coming out, and I was like, I already could tell that her and Zelina are going to have a match in the future. They're going to have a match in the future. After that, it was like, I think Adam, Nick, and Ava, having people pick numbers to know where they're going to be at. And sadly, they only announced 4 of the women. But also, too, there's not as many women that are signed to WWE. Even though it seems like a lot of them, because we see a lot of them on Raw, and we see, I think, half the roster. I think, honestly, NXT, it seems like the roster might be 50-50, even though that's not the case for men and women. Like, half of them might be women, half of them might be men. Go upstairs before you be asleep on my couch. Talking about you ain't tired. I'm sorry. No, people be like, I'm not sleepy. My son is one of those people, and they turn over you telling yourself a lie, and I know you telling a lie. I know you're tired. You're half tired. You're half asleep. Keep back with that motorcycle. But yeah. So I was like, that's going to come out. So Bobby and them came up and gave their promo, the whole Arrows thing. But the most exciting match to me, and I only caught glimpses and flashes, was the tag team women's match. Full of action, full of crowd participation. Like, they did that. And I love Cadence and Carter. I was sad that they lost the match. But I was like, my son said they called them the Kabuki Warriors. I always forget their name. I said, one thing about this, though, is I predicted that Bayley, if she don't get kicked out Royal Rumble, she's going to kick out Elimination Chamber if they have one this year. Because, like I said, they bought the trademarks to ECW and stuff, that it could be called anything next month in February. But, not that much the Jagged Edge. But, like, if, I need to put my contacts in too. If not, I think that almost everything that Bayley had predicted is going to come true. Like, they get the tag team titles. Io keeps her title up until February or Wrestle, and Dakota is cleared to wrestle in WrestleMania, and she throws Bayley over. Instead of help her, she helps throw her over, or she throws over herself, and that creates the rift. The So I'm anticipating that. We don't know when it's going to happen. We just know it's going to happen. It's getting very light right now. And it's not super dry. It was drier than this, y'all. Like everything. I wake up, parts of my face are white. And then I have rosacea, which I inherited from one of my German ancestors from the 1700s, or my Native American ancestor from the 1800s, because all this right here is sore and red every time. And then when we sweat, of course, when I'm sweating, when I'm cold, pink, pink, pink. Even my son, he's playing basketball so hard yesterday in the gym. Oh, this was pink. But yeah, so that's what I'm just waiting for that to happen. They had the best match thus far. I love the energy of Cadence and Carter. I want to see how Asuka does with Kari here, because even though they wrestle in Japan, NJPW is a whole different ball game. Like, most of the crowd is proper, they clap, some might, catcall, boo, and then it looks like the ring is harder. It looks like they have less rules as far as certain wrestling moves, because it's more cutthroat. I feel like either you have to be young, your body has to be able to tolerate that, or you have to just have a tolerance for pain and be used to it. It's just like when I used to when I was a manager at Taco Bell, you just build a tolerance for stuff. When they first taught me how to make tacos, you have to put the tortillas on each side for 5 seconds, and some people press it with their hands, and I put close my hand, like, ooh. Then after being there for like 3 months, I told it, wouldn't feel nothing. Put it over, wouldn't feel a thing. So your body gets used to certain stuff. Your brain tells your body you're used to certain stuff. Like, we want to go back here tomorrow. You might as well. I would say that reason why I say that is lackluster is because, I don't know, it just wasn't giving. I kind of wish that Charlotte didn't have her injury, and I'm only saying that because I would want to see how the story with Bianca and Charlotte and Shotzi would have continued with Damage Control, and they could have threw Michin in there since Becky is on Raw. Like, that would have been awesome. And then would have kept Alba and Isla for the other two, Damage Control, Asuka and Kiara, whatever. Because I think that's all the women. I think it was on like 10 women on Raw. Smackdown. Right? Michin, Alba, Michin. Oh no, I'm missing Zelina. I forget that. Forget that she's there, as in she doesn't have a match or whatever. I just forget because she's not normally in a woman's story. She's with the group with with LWO versus, and then like the women like Shotzi and stuff are in the women's stuff. But the difference between Zelina and Michin is Zelina mainly only does like stuff with LWO. Like, she's ringside. She might do 1 or 2 matches. That's it. With Michin, she does stuff with the OC, but she also down with the girls. Like, she gonna come in, like when she did on Christmas, and she gonna fight with them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a situation. I need to cover my hair up. I need to put my glasses in. So yeah, that was the most exciting thing for me then. I forgot about Trick Williams and Theory, because I was like, first I was like, who's music? Then Theory came out, and I was like, he's supposed to match. Oh, also that I was excited about, who's done great promos leading up to Royal Rumble? Logan and KO. I wanted to see how that match transpired anyway, because I was like, if it's not Logan and Santos, or Santos and Trick, I forgot who fought against each other, who fought with each other. Yeah, I was like, it would have to be KO and like Logan. 2 different styles. So KO and Santos. 2 different styles to bring the audience to their feet. And people, KO's become one of those people in the past couple years that people love. I feel like the love for him, his audience has gotten wider in the past year and a half. Because you have to understand, like, I would say his quirkiness. Everyone has a quirkiness. Like, you do stuff, say stuff, dress a certain way. You might think it's good looks, good style, whatever. It's you. And people are now understanding, like, his dry sense of humor, his resiliency, that he really lives up to his slogan, keep on fighting. And that he's an awesome wrestler. He's versatile. Most wrestlers might got 5 moves in the bank. He could probably do almost everybody's moves on the roster. And surprisingly, Ivar, that's why I love Raw. Like, to see him, he calls it now the Doom Salt. Like, that's crazy. I first saw him do that last year. I was surprised and amazed. Like, I didn't know how to feel. Because I'm like, the only person that I know that was his size or bigger that could do that was KO. And like the cannonball, and he did like, it's crazy. I love it. No graphics today from production, which I'm sad about. Y'all know I love production. Gotta put my hair up too. Yeah, so no graphics or nothing today from production. But I love the KO and Logan promo. I love that they were even at the same ring. Practicing or whatever, because it gives old school Attitude Era, like when Booker T and Steve Austin was in the grocery store, or when I think Vince was in the hospital and Steve Austin came to visit him in the hospital. There's a lot of Steve Austin ones now that I think about it. Or like, I think Steve Austin had Hurricane Helms showed him that he was tough enough or something like that. Or like, Steve was like the first person that walks in his door, I'm fighting, it was RVD. Like, he does have a lot of good promos, good scenes or whatever. Back. So it's bringing that back. So someone was calling it the new Attitude Era. I was talking to my sister about it. Because I was like, remember when we used to love wrestling? We were little during the Attitude Era. I was like, it's like that, but it's enhanced. It's like a new Attitude Era. It's enhanced. It gives you the nostalgia of how it used to be when you were younger, but a clean version of it. Because the kids now don't see like Jello and pudding matches and all that, bikini matches. Which is good. It's good in the sense of you let kids be kids. Like, it should be up to the parents to explain to them certain things, certain body parts, certain situations. But on the other hand, if you look at it from the other version, it's like it causes them to ask questions, or I don't know. It'll teach them not to be as sensitive, but at the same time, it was more bad than good, because then it teaches men, if you look at it, to be emasculating the women, which isn't right. And then it's also a better version of the Attitude Era, because the women have more opportunities. And I would say this past year with the pay-per-views, that the women matches, at least 50 to 75% of their matches have been better than the men's. Especially that WrestleMania one with Charlotte and Rhea. It's got to be my top pay-per-view match in the past 2 years. And I saw the match with Brock and Roman at SummerSlam, and that was my favorite one at the time. But And I saw the one with Logan, and who did Logan fight before Ricochet? I can't remember who he fought before Ricochet, but whoever he fought before, was it Roman? Or was it Miz? Which to me solidified to me that he was a WWE part-timer. I was like, okay, he's really good at this. Because one time you have one good match, you're like, okay. More than once, and being consistent with it is amazing. Yeah, so I was like, who is Theory out here about to fight? Forgot they announced it last week. And I was like, oh, I can't wait to see this. And now I think about it, I remember it because when Grayson had said something to him, now I can't even see. Sorry, y'all. I'm so tired. I don't know if I'm coming or going. When Grayson had talked to him, his face was like, what is going on? Like, I don't... like, why are you speaking for me? Like, dog. So, yeah, it was just funny. So when I heard his music, I was like, oh, I forgot about Carmelo. Pretty decent match. Thought Carmelo was gonna get it, of course. He get hit with a great a cheap shot by Grayson. Still was on the verge of winning. They thought he was gonna lose. And he ended up losing by Theory holding on to his pants. But then what I loved, my second favorite part after the women's match, what I loved the most about it is as soon as he was getting beat up, boom, 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 audience automatically, whoop, that trick, what, always missing was Booker T. And I loved it so much because I'm like, it's a lot of fans that are in WWE that don't watch NXT. And I know that because I don't think the ratings for NXT are as big as Monday and Friday. But I do know that they're up there. And I'm just amazed at how many people knew the music and stuff like that. And I don't know if it's because they saw stuff on Peacock, if they watch YouTube, but I loved it. So when he came out and helped Carmelo, he had said something to him like, I'm doing this because you got a match on Monday. So people were tweeting, because of course I tweet and stuff like that while I'm watching. And it was like, anybody that has been watching NXT that knows this has been a buildup, a betrayal of trust, of friendship, of brotherhood, of them going to the top together. This gray hair never stayed. I need to color my hair. So I was like, facts. Because ever since the whole incident, like October, it's been a situation. It might have been before that. So somebody was like, it's giving Gargano and Ciampa. Like, So, but when his music came back on and people were in the crowd, whoop, that, he was talking and then he stopped and looked in the audience like he gave like an amazement or overwhelmed, like, wow, these people that aren't just Smackdown fans that are NXT know my song. Like, it was a quick glance of like overwhelming feeling of love and stuff like that, which I was happy that he got to experience that, because it's different when you are performing in the sold out crowd or standing to deliver or deadline. You know for a fact those are NXT people. They know the story, they're coming. Or people that loved up and coming people that's part of your main roster, they love it. They love you, they know what's going on most like. But for all the people on SmackDown to say it, I bet half of those people never even probably seen NXT in the past couple weeks. And I'm not negating that they haven't, but it's just amazing that when you come out, you got a killer interest like that, and the reception is crazy. I think he had the loudest reception of the night, and we had LA Knight on there. So then after that, No Yeet joined Royal Rumble. Which was funny. It'll be I wouldn't be surprised if Jay ended up in a Royal Rumble. So then it'll be him versus his brother eventually, which could lead up to like either SummerSlam this year or like WrestleMania 41. because I like everybody else who watched old clips or Chris Van Belt felt hell. He was like, their dream match would be them wrestling each other on the main stage, like WrestleMania, and then they had been a referee. And I was like, so after if they're allowed to accomplish that dream, if they get the green light, what happens after that? Do they retire? Or do they still wrestle? Like, is it a retirement thing after that? You get your way? Or is it a thing like, okay, I can go down being a part-timer and get the same amount of money? Or, I don't know. But after that, it was Solo versus LA. I kept saying, Trick versus Theory. It was Carmelo versus Theory. I knew I was tired. And then I was saying it was kind of lackluster because I felt like the situation with Jimmy when he was like no yeet, when he said it in the like what number he was, I was like he gonna be the first, second, or third. But it was the fact the way he looked into the camera, like he was looking for the funny reaction, and I felt like at that point in time his head or something wasn't in it. Like he was trying to be funny when he's naturally funny. Just be who you are. Just like the same with R-Truth. It was funny, and I was like, what is wrong with him? But then I was like, at the same time, I was like, who wrote this? Or did he come up with this material off the top? He was like, do it mean I got a quarantine? What that mean? I'm like, R-Truth is funny. And been funny in the past, just being truth. Like, if y'all trying to write stuff in for him to be funny, now it's like pushing the line where it's becoming corny. Like, make it funny. And then, of course, when I was like, Solo versus LA Knight, of course, you know, I was gonna say that, yeah, situation and all that, but we already knew that AJ and Randy was gonna come out at some point. We knew that it was gonna be a situation because AJ had mentioned that he wanted Solo, and that he felt like LA had swept the rug up from under him again when I think it wasn't even his call. Like, LA was talking about how I don't think he even wanted to wrestle, but y'all got him wrestling the day before where, you know, he's trying to be fresh for the next day. One thing that I did like, though, is I mentioned last year that they always have matches against the person that's getting in a match for a title, or the person that is trying to retain their title, always fight like the day before. And they always end up winning. And I was like, that's boring. We know that you're the champion for a reason. It should be every once in a while shake things up where the person that holds the title gets beat up a little bit or they lose, so we can be on the edge of our seats like, okay, they lost today, will they lose tomorrow? Like, if it's made for them to win the next day. So I am happy about that. But overall, that's all I remember. So y'all forgive me, because when I say I was tired. I had to cut out part of the video because I dozed off on it. That's how tired I was after I laid up in my bed, not comfortable under my covers. Anyways, love you all. I'm gonna get my Royal Rumble review later. Bye.